Hi everybody, welcome back. Sorry that this video is so late. I'll get to that at the end. But this video is just kind of to give a little update about the non-construction part of the house, the actual living part of the house, and a quick little update of the garden. Here's the semi-construction zone kitchen. I got this combo washer dryer. I've said for a long time I wish they made combination washer dryers, and in Europe they do. My friends that have used them kind of had not the best reviews, mainly just the drying function, but since I hang my laundry to dry, I won't use the drying function unless it's like raining for an extended period in winter. So I figured it was worth the little extra money to have that option when I need it, even though I won't use it that much. But it is definitely way nicer than taking it to the laundromat across town. And if my mom wasn't all about these dryers or these detergent sheets, I don't think I probably wouldn't trust them, but they work really great. And it's so much more convenient than like a bottle of detergent. No drips or anything, especially if you have to take it to a laundromat. It's 52 loads. And I've got this induction cooktop. Whenever I have the counter here, then I'll have like a built-in one. But this is super amazing. With this, I feel like I don't need a microwave or an electric kettle. I feel like it's faster than both of those. And if you're putting in a new stovetop, there's really no reason to put in anything other than induction. It's really amazing. I guess unless you have a pacemaker. That's all my sloppily stored food. But I'm very happy that I found out there's a Asian grocery store. So I got some curry paste, black vinegar. Very happy about that. I need some basil and bay leaves drying. And I also have a fridge. It's very tall. I'm like 5'10", 5'11", something like that. So you can see it's a very tall fridge. I was kind of going between this one and another one, but this one had a lot more freezer space. So I bought the fridge and the washing machine together. I decided which models I wanted and just kind of waited till they went on sale. And so I got them both on sale. It was like $1,000 for both. Like one was 5 something, one was 4 something, but I don't remember which was which. It was like a €250 discount just by waiting a couple weeks till they went on sale. And it was free delivery from Coimbra, which even if I had a car, I wouldn't be able to bring a fridge myself. So that was good. So now going into the living room, you see I have a couch now. I got it at the thrift store. There's one I really liked, but it would have taken up like the entire back wall and come out like past this door here. So I went with a smaller option, and it folds out into a bed, so that's nice. And then I also have a TV. It was $25 at a thrift store, and then once I connected it with the like cable box thing, it became a smart TV. So that's pretty nice. And then the speakers, they just threw them in for free when I got some other stuff at the thrift store. So you can see it's not that big, but overall I'm really happy with it. And over here is a little toaster oven. Just kind of temporary till I get the kitchen done and have a real oven. Although this does pretty much everything. It has a more restricted temperature range and not as many functions. Here's the bed. This bed will go in the small bedroom. um, and take up pretty much the whole space. And then I'll have a smaller bed in here, and the plan is to make this like the library guest bedroom type room. So like I said, I got the couch in the bed and some other stuff at the thrift store. Since I got a bunch of stuff together, they gave a good discount, and because the couch was listed at like 150, the bed I think was like 180 or 200, and the mattress was like 50 maybe. And I got some other stuff with it too because they were delivering, and it all came out to like 350 with the delivery. So it's a good price, especially because like just a plain particle board bed that's not anything fancy at all is pretty expensive at the store. Like all furniture seems really expensive, and it's not even like real wood or anything to get it new. And like this bed is like hand carved tropical hardwood antique, so it's pretty nice. And the thrift store I went to, it's called like Retro Esperanza or something like that. They've got them all over Porto area. There's one in Coimbra, and it's pretty much the only like real thrift store I've found. And there's one in Tintagual that's really nice. That's where I got this stuff from. It's pretty much right across the river valley. It also has a bunch of like renovation stuff. There's like all types of tiles and sinks and bathroom fixtures and some really nice old doors, and like all types of furniture and stuff too. So if you're in the Coimbra area, that's a good place for home renovation stuff. And they do a lot of work against drug and alcohol addiction. Since I got such a late start in the garden, I just bought a bunch of starts, and even then I was late putting them in the ground, so like half of them died, and I didn't keep track of what was what. But it was mainly just to see like what would grow well with the minimalist amount of input. So in case like I wanted to go somewhere for a week or left for work for like 3 or 4 weeks, and just had automatic watering, it would still grow. So I just wanted to see like how well a variety of different things grew. I wasn't really focused on production or anything. It was just kind of an overall experiment. So now a quick little garden update. You can see the grapevine growing very well. Unfortunately, the grapes look pretty good, but they just taste like normal grapes from the grocery store. I've had other ones that have like a really nice depth of flavor and I guess like wine, but these ones are just grapes. So I'll probably try to find a different variety. And this that I thought was bell pepper is not. It, I guess, is a sweet pepper, which is kind of just like a giant chiltoma, which is just really thin skin and kind of meh. So I won't grow that again. This eggplant, got one starting to develop. These zucchinis, let's see if I can, it keeps making zucchinis, but then they die right away. It has a bad problem with powdery mildew, and apparently this climate is the perfect conditions for it. But it might be because it's just growing straight out of the clay. I've stopped watering them because it just doesn't seem worth it because they're not developing anything. And then these cherry tomatoes are doing really well. This one looks ripe. And then these tomatoes are also, the tomatoes did really good. You can see the tomatoes grow very well here. They're not quite ready yet. And this plant and the other tomato were both were both just grown from the little shoots that you're supposed to pick off. I stuck them in water till they got roots, and then stuck them in the ground. And then the beets are also doing really well. I ate one and it was really good. Got a new onion started. I transplanted the other onions, and I guess you're not supposed to do that because they died. Here you can see the lemongrass is doing very well. I've made tea with it several times. This thyme is doing really well. Some basil. This potato is probably about ready to harvest. So, not a lot. It'll be good seed potatoes, I guess. There's some down there though. I'll have to dig around in there later. These gladiolas bloomed. The purple ones died. I think there's one left. And then I got some more red and white ones that are still kind of small. And then here is mostly more of the same. The stevia is doing really good. This okra, I think it's too cold for okra. It definitely seems to grow the best during the heat waves. But I got a handful of them. And then these are the quinoas. They're doing really good. Never grown it before, but I think they're starting to, might get ready to have some blooms soon. And then down here is purple sweet potato. There's quite a few of them. And over here is the biggest eggplant. They've had a big problem with mites, and I haven't really done much about it. The potatoes, they had a bad problem with flea beetles at the beginning, but I just went around and removed them by hand whenever I saw them, and then the spiders moved in and kind of reached equilibrium. And this thing, I thought it was just a weed, but it had, when it was younger, it had, the center of the leaves were red, and I thought it looked cool, so I just let it grow, and it made this big thing. I guess it's some kind of decorative amaranth. It had little yellow flowers in it before. And here I'm just letting this lettuce go to seed. It's like some kind of romaine style, but reddish. It's not bad, and it grew really well. So this is an easy way to sprout sweet potatoes, or you can do the like toothpicks in a jar method like elementary school. But especially if it's the US, you need to use organic because they spray it with stuff to keep it from sprouting. And then you just break these off and put them in water till they root. And I think you can even like chop up to where each of these individual nodes will make up another plant. So it's like infinite sweet potatoes from one sweet potato. And I also said I would show some of the stuff that I did during the heat waves, which was mainly just going to the beach because it's so close and the water's just very refreshing. But there's also the Pope nearby, which was a interesting experience. I'm here in Fiera Beach, where it is 92 degrees, and at home it's 106. And the water temperature, I think, is in the 60s, so it'll be very nice and refreshing. The beach at Fiera is very big. There's a boardwalk to help you get out to the water, and at this part it's about a little under half a mile wide and a mile and a half to the other end of the beach. And when you get to the end of the boardwalk, there's these little tents that you can rent for 15 euros a day. It comes with some chairs and stuff. And once you get past the tents, you get to the main part of the beach. And it's very much like Southern California, where the temperature is hot, but the water is very cold. You can only stay in a limited amount of time without a wetsuit. And since it is such a wide beach, they do have a free golf cart shuttle service out to the water. And there's also like a children's pool and a big area of inflatables for kids. And there's also a go-kart area that's more popular on weekends. And here you can see the smoke from a wildfire in the background. So just got off the bus, headed toward the sanctuary. It was actually kind of hard to see, a bunch of wildfire smoke, so hopefully that'll keep the temperature down. I think the Pope should already be here. There's very heavy security all around, helicopters flying around, tons of police. Got my money and everything in a pickpocket safe location because there's supposed to be 500,000 people. I'm not sure how big everything is, but never been in that many people. So I'm not Catholic, but the opportunity to see the Pope at one of the most important Catholic pilgrimage sites doesn't come around that often, so I figured it'd be a cool experience. And I'd already known about the story of Fatima, so I'd been meaning to make a visit, even though this is definitely not the time to check it out, so I'll have to go back at some other time. I really had no idea what to expect, but it was just kind of like a big church service, it seemed like. He was supposed to give a speech, but ended up not doing it for some reason. They were predicting 500,000 people, but the estimate was a little over 220,000. There was a big event in Lisbon that night that he gave a big speech at that had 1.5 million people. So I think most people just stayed there because of the heat and everything, probably. He did give like a small sermon, though. He just didn't do the big speech that they were saying he was going to do. I also found out that the tallest tree in Europe is in the hills just right outside Coimbra, so I did a little hike up to it. It's about 75 meters, 250 feet tall. So I also wanted to say that I'm going to take a little break, have a little summer vacation before summer's over. The last few weeks I've just been lacking any motivation, and the heat doesn't help. It's been over 100 again the last couple days. So I'm going to take a little break. I've got a little trip planned out, backpacking in the mountains, so hopefully it'll be cooler and I'll get a change of scenery. I don't do very well in the same spot for too long, and I've been here 6 months now without any real traveling, which is the longest I've been in one spot since the winter of 2020. And before that, I don't even know when I've been in one place for more than 6 months. Like if I'm in one spot too long, my mind just like deadens. I feel like I need new things going on and new experiences to keep my mind fresh. And I was also expecting work to start sometime this month, but that got canceled, as well as my backup work plan. So I'm also trying to find some work to make up for that. And I know a bunch of people have asked about like a Patreon or something, and I was working on getting a Patreon set up, but I don't feel right like doing that and then being gone for maybe a couple weeks or something. So when I am back, I'll make an announcement about that. So hopefully I'll be back soon, nice and refreshed. I don't know when that'll be, so make sure you're subscribed or just hope the algorithm is in your favor. And I'll hopefully see y'all soon. Ciao.